Market structure and liquidity are two smart money concepts that, if used in combination and mastered them, make the difference on which trader ends up taking the money from the other pool of traders. To become this powerful trader, we will cover each of the following topics. We are first starting with liquidity identification. In this topic, we will learn how to identify liquidity levels and points of interest on a certain market. The second following topic is, of course, how to use liquidity in an efficient manner. In the third topic, we will learn about market structure analysis. And this topic will help us to apply market structure in combination with liquidity levels and points of interest. And at last, we will apply everything that we have learned on chart examples and backtests. This was a highly requested video. Many traders have mentioned that they struggle on reading liquidity. And if you want a quick and effective way of learning trading from zero to an advanced level of smart money concepts, and as well as an ebook that targets mastering the psychology in trading, both contents constantly being updated, check the link in the description. So let's jump into the guide. As we have stated, we will start with liquidity. So what is liquidity? How does it work? And why we should learn it? Liquidity is just money placed in the markets. So liquidity is simply orders from other traders. This is the simplest explanation. And how to identify the liquidity? Well, it's simple. As long as we know that liquidity are others' traders' orders. All we need to know is where do most traders place their orders, especially orders in form of stop losses. Some may wonder and ask, how can you know where people place their stop losses if you can't visually see traders actually moving their stop losses? Well, again, it's simple since we are humans. We are highly impacted by emotions. You probably know how important psychology is in trading, and traders place their orders mostly based on emotions. They say things like, the price can't go there, so it's a good placement for the stop loss. But that's not how markets works. The markets don't care about your emotions. The market simply moves towards levels where most money is placed. And these levels are not hard to identify using strategies like smart money concepts. There are many types of liquidity, but one of the most common and easy to understand is the equal highs and lows liquidity. In equal lows, the market forms lows that hit the same level repeatedly. And in equal highs, the market forms highs that hit the same level repeatedly. If I were to ask where would you place your stop loss in both scenarios? Most traders would place their stop loss below the equal lows in the uptrend scenario and above the equal highs in the downtrend scenario. The question is also wrongly formed, because in reality, all we did is market structure analysis. But we have not talked about entry models to enter trading setups. This is a mistake that most retail traders make, which is not having setups in mind, therefore opening trades just because we think the market will move where we want to. This mistake will cost with losses for the traders that executed positions right at or right below the equal lows and highs levels. What an advanced smart money concepts trader will do is analyze if there is a demand area below the equal lows, level where the market can break the equal lows, taking all that liquidity from the stop losses, and hitting the demand zone, now actually trading with the big players in the market to continue the trend. And the same goes for the other scenario, where above the equal highs could be found a supply zone or a fair value gap, and market makers to push the price up into that smart money structure for the actual big traders to use the liquidity taken from the stop losses of other traders to open their orders and push the price in trend continuation. See, this is how you need to think. And it's not hard to identify liquidity, but it stands mostly on not rushing and forcing trades. Literally, this is the biggest mistake of traders. The mistake of forcing trades when they see no opportunity. Profitable traders wait days or even weeks for opportunities. And so-called, they wait for the stars to align to reduce the likelihood of losing the trade. Let's take a look into charting. As we can see, this market was in a significant uptrend. And if we look at the end of the chart with the price still going up, we could also say that the uptrend has kept its continuation. And with applying market structure knowledge, right here we got a change of character. A change of character is usually the first indication of market reversal, but the market did not reverse. It still kept pushing to the upside, making this a fake change of character. This type of movement is also named as a liquidity sweep. The psychology of this price action is simple to interpret. Initially on the left, the price was going up, but the momentum was not. The momentum was decreasing. Observe the candles slowly reducing in size the more the price went up in this direction. And shortly after the momentum has shifted, the candles were growing in size while the price was going down. This causes buyers to be fearful, so they close their buy positions, and gives confidence to sellers to sell short the market. This is why we always say that the change of character is the first indication of a market reversal. An indication, but not a confirmation. Such as the market has trapped sellers by pushing the price up, creating a bullish break of structure and taking their stop losses. We can also see the placement of a support area, or a supply that is turned into a demand, and we will zoom in time frames to look for more details about market structure. This is the same market, but we zoomed in the 5-minute time frame. Notice how the pullback is a low time frame downtrend. For example, here we got an internal bearish break of structure. Internal means that the price structure is done on the lower time frames, while the higher time frames goes in the other way around. For example, the break of structure that we have marked before, and is also visible in here, is an external structure, because it was defined on the higher time frame, while the following bearish internal breaks of structure are on the lower time frame. And since we are currently in an uptrend, the price action usually aligns the lower time frame with the higher time frame. And that prints an internal change of character. And that comes at a great extra confirmation for the external bullish break of structure from right above. Now the most important thing in here, a beginner in smart money concepts will look for setups to sell short right when this pullback ends. But this trader did not take into consideration that there is a liquidity structure that has been respected for multiple times, the supply zone that has turned into demand, the structure that has flipped the price up every time it has hit it lately. And sure, the structure has to break at some point, but we don't know when or how many times it will hold. So the better quality move is to follow the structure instead of trading against it. So knowing that there is resting liquidity at the zone, we expect the change of character to also indicate a liquidity sweep. So psychologically, we can think that this push to the downside was a liquidity hunt to stop out the traders that have opened buy orders at the last higher low structure. And the market has continued the high time frame uptrend by breaking structure externally. Now we will move to an even lower time frame at the same price action. We have moved into the 1-minute time frame. The price was shooting up aggressively and pulled back to the downside after marking a local high. The next push to the upside has not managed to get even close to the last local high, and coupled with the next pullback, we got a higher high internally, but not externally. In other words, the price is struggling to break above the previous major or external high. This shows a decrease in bullish momentum, which gives signs of a possible upcoming trend reversal, but we would like to see more price action before confirmation. So it has managed to break the external high to create a new break of structure, but the market shortly changed character after. To know which one is the liquidity trap, we need to look if we have a structure and follow the trend of that certain structure. And if you noticed it, congratulations. There is a supply zone right at the new high. A supply zone is the last bullish candle before an aggressive push to the downside. Knowing that the supply zone is a bearish structure, we look to open sell short orders if the price manages to hit the supply zone. Being a 1-minute time frame execution, a better placement for the stop loss is above the highs instead of above the supply. This way we give the market more room, and especially avoid possible liquidity issues like spreads and slippages widening up. And for the take profit, we want the market to break the last external low. We can go even lower, but this risk reward is very good to start with. Being too greedy is dangerous. The order got filled. The trend is going on our side as well as bearish momentum started picking up. And that was a great setup. This type of setup is not met often, but is a very high quality one. Now, we need to understand the options of setup targets, and they usually depend on the time frame. We do the analysis compared to the time frame we execute the trade. We have the first option. Market analysis and trade execution are done on the same time frame. In this situation, it is often the best to trade with the trend and placing the take profits and stop loss based on the same time frame we're doing the analysis on. This is simplest scenario and used by most traders. And it looks like this. The market analysis is done in the 4-hour time frame. We recognize a trading setup in the same time frame, so this following supply, and set targets based on the chart from the same time frame, so the stop loss above this high on the 4-hour time frame, or it can also be above the zone, and the take profit below the low in the same time frame. Why there? Because being a downtrend and having a supply with many breaks of structures to the downside before, we would expect to trade with the trend, which is a downtrend, and a downtrend looks to constantly break lows. The second option, market analysis on the higher time frame and trade execution on a lower time frame, with targets on the higher time frame. This option allows for very high risk to reward ratio setups. However, it is more complex as you have to do market analysis on the high time frame first, then zoom in on the lower time frame and look for a trading setup there. For example, the first time frame is the higher time frame. So to represent as simple as possible, let's take the last chart. We also done the analysis. So when price hits the supply zone, we zoom in a low time frame. As an example, this is the 1-minute time frame. We can see here the formation of another supply zone with liquidity ready to be taken to the downside. And this supply is validated by an internal change of character. So when price bounces back up to the fill, the supply we can place a sell short, with the stop loss above the last high in the low time frame. And the take profit can be the last low in the high time frame. And that makes the risk to reward higher. It can get very large, but I usually take partial take profits above 1 to 3 risk to reward, because leaving a high risk to reward trade for full increases the chances of getting stopped out of the trade. Understanding how liquidity flows also be useful on avoiding liquidity sweeps, such as in this example, where the market respected its uptrend up until it broke the lows and marked a bearish change of character, but as we can see shortly after the price just broke to the upside. The more beginner smart money traders likely lost if they have placed sell short orders, because this whole move was a liquidity grab. In situations like this, where we can't identify a clear liquidity structure, there is no significant bearish fair value gap or a supply or nothing important to hold beliefs of a trend reversal. So what can we do in this situation to not get trapped? The most important thing is to know that the change of character is not necessarily a confirmation of trend reversal, but just a first important indication, and especially when we don't have a liquidity structure for price to move into. One of the best decisions is to wait for the price to actually confirm a reversal into a downtrend. The confirmation would come if the price went up here and broke to the downside instead of breaking the upside. This would confirm the first bearish break of structure of the downtrend. And after we can look if a liquidity structure has been formed, as in a setup like a fair value gap or a supply since the market would have gotten into a downtrend. And if we can't find that liquidity structure even on the second try, we can just give up trying in that moment and wait for the market to give the high-quality opportunity. Keep in mind, patience is crucial when trading. So the keynotes you need to know are the following. First, analyze a market, then look if there is liquidity structure, as in a fair value gap, order block, demand, supply, and so on. If there is one, make sure it respects the trend on the time frame you are looking to open the trades. Because just like in this example, if the market is in an uptrend and prints a change of character, but there is a demand zone right below, well then the change of character is likely invalid because the market just wanted to fill the liquidity structure from below, and the push to the downside that caused the change of character was a liquidity sweep to take the stop losses of traders, so the large traders can use that to fill their orders. We have talked mostly about highs and lows liquidity. There is also an option to identify liquidity from trend lines, but I find it unnecessary in most cases, and it can overlap the highs and lows liquidity, often confusing traders. So it is a better idea to just stick to the simplest option and master it. Let's run another backtest. This is the euro against the US dollar in the 5-minute time frame. At the first glance, we are able to see that this is an uptrend with their external bullish breaks of structure and price-making swing, higher highs. So let's see the upcoming price action. Alright, so the market went on a very aggressive uptrend. We jumped on the backtest right on a reaction from a demand zone. So we can't test this trade, unfortunately. But just shows how simple it was. A clear and easy to observe demand zone in an uptrend, a very simple setup. Alright, the price broke the structure high, basically giving signs of continuation of the uptrend. And here it is, another demand zone. This zone is unmitigated. That means it is a valid zone that can look up to. Right here, the price broke the last swing lows, basically creating a change of character. So this is an indication of a trend reversal to the downside. There is also this fair value gap. However, looks to not be the best quality one, but it's fine to test on back tests. So as usual, sell short. Stop loss above the swing high. Take profit below the recent swing low. And looks like the risk-reward ratio is not that good also. This is taking too long to fill the order. Usually I would cancel the order because price has no significant reaction, meaning that there isn't a liquidity pool to gather orders from. And we lost this one. No problem, we can't win every trade. It is very important to analyze each loss. Zooming out on the larger time frame, there wasn't a significant external change of character to justify that sell short position. The mistake of this loss is ignoring the main trend, and most importantly the fact that there was a valid demand on the higher time frame trend. That demand zone is the liquidity structure we were talking about, and the prices hit it exactly on top, so it took the stop losses of buyers and has triggered sellers to open orders. But we know that there is no point in opening sell short positions on a demand. We do the opposite, so we open a buy order. Stop loss below the last swing low, which also comes right below the zone, so this looks like a high-quality setup with a good risk-to-reward ratio. And take profit above the highs looking to continue the main trend. This was the option where we know how to combine liquidity and market structure. Those who only use market structure saw the change of character and looked for a supply zone, and we actually got one right here. So let's place a sell short, stop loss above the highs. Take profit, we can place it below the current low, or below the swing low. And the traders that did that lost the trade. So again, analyzing the mistake which we already told it. The mistake is not taking into consideration the liquidity structure from the main trend, which is the demand. The ones who combined liquidity with market structure won this trade instead. And this is how you analyze the market and combine it with liquidity in the simple way. If you got any more questions, feel free to ask in the comments section. Thank you for watching.